Kavita
Okay,
ma'am, over to you.
am I audible?
Yes, you audible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, the speaker of this session is Dr. Christy Paulina J. So, I would like to give brief introduction of her. Dr. Christy Paulina J is currently working as the head of Department of English and IQAC coordinator, Bishop Cadwell College, Tuticorin, Tamil Nadu. She has more than 10 years of teaching experience of English and Art and Science College. She has done her research on existentialism. She is a soft skill trainer and have trained students for getting recruited in MNCs. She has been resource person in too many conferences, workshops, and webinars. She has also conducted various conferences, faculty development program, international and national webinars in literature and ELT. He has presented papers in international and national conferences and has published paper in well-reputed journals. He has been editor of 3 books and of an international journal. He has a passion toward teaching literature to students and is committed to reach the unreached students to get education in worse scenario. I invite very dynamic and multifaceted persona, Dr. Christy Paulina Zay, to deliver her lecture. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Kavita, ma'am, for your graceful introduction. At this juncture today, on our 7th-day National Web Workshop at the Department of English of Government Lagri PG College, I am very much thankful that you have invited me for this eminent function or a webinar. I also welcome. I have to say thank you to our principal, Dr. Aarti Tiwari, ma'am, principal of Government Laguri PG College, and Dr. Aradhana Goswami, the convener of the webinar, and Dr. Kavita Krishnamurthy, the organizing secretary of the webinar. And not the least, I also welcome Professor Ashok Kumar sir, Vice Chancellor, Sri Kalji Vedic University. Sir, your speech was wonderful. And it was in a nutshell what I was about to tell. Sir has given very much a small nutshell. And today, here at this unreached students, why I have selected on that topic when Aradhana asked me was, I'm the head of the department of Bishop Caldwell College, and most of our students are from rural and bilingual students. So, being an English teacher and being an English teacher for general English students, I find a lot of difficulties while we are having our online classes. So, there are green set of students and there are slow blooming students as well. So, there are unreachable students. So, in this pandemic, the pandemic has taught us many things, and I have learned many things, I would say, from the students. I make my students very compulsory to come today for the seminar, webinar, because they should also know the impact and importance of e-learning. While being the IQAC coordinator for the past 2 years, when we were going for many meetings conducted by NAC, the most of the important thing that they were talking about is ICT, ICT teaching and ICT tools. But as far as concerned, nobody have taken that very seriously. Had taken that seriously, we would have handled this time very precisely, I would say, or very successfully. Why we are saying that is we are not allowing our students to get their gadgets into our college first. And suddenly you ask the students to come with a phone or a laptop to have to teach any other subject. I would say it's becoming a difficult task because the staff itself are not equipped, not enough knowledge, or not enough. We would say that we are immigrants, the teachers are immigrants, but the students are natives, digital natives. And how come we, being an immigrant, we have to equip ourselves? How do we equip ourselves is the question. And there are a lot of easy ways. And being a literature student or being a literature star myself, I have not done education in computer science or nothing. I didn't do any course as such, but I have learned through all through the Google. And I have been working in England as a computer analyst, but I learned my Excel, I learned my software through my self education. So I'm going to share my experiences as well. How can we deal this pandemic? We need not be scared that this is computer, this is digitalizing, and we need not be very much worried about it. And I'm going to share the screen. Aradhana ma'am, can I share my PP? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Please share.
Yes. So now pandemic and education. So most governments around the world has been temporarily closed. And we would say that the closures are impacting over 72% of to 90% of the world's student population. We have to agree to that. Most of the students, we are asking them, my son is first standard, and he is having a mock test today. So the impact of
Ma'am,
education at that young
yes, ma'am.
age, we are seeing, am I audible?
Ma'am, please share your full screen.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. So, so it is like education, like from pre-KG, the children are doing online education. And now we, as college teachers, as we are lecturers, professors of old age and of young age, all of them are under this pandemic, and we are coming under this literature. We are coming under digital learning. So how are we going to do that? How successful are we in it? How successful the students have got it? That is the question. So education has been less about learning and more about acquiring degrees. That is what it is true. Now we have come into real learning. So this COVID crisis, even in schools, we started with schools actually, and it has been a lifeline for education. What is that lifeline for education? Because you cannot see the teacher, you cannot communicate with the teacher cannot see the students, but the smartphone and laptops are the lifeline. Now, I would say more for 2 years until the COVID completely goes off. We might get another pandemic, we do not know. But now we are starting to recognize that this is the lifeline for education. So technology is enabling students and teachers to access specialized materials well beyond textbooks in multiple formats and in ways that can bridge time and space. It's absolutely true. When we are in the class, we want to, the staff are having only books. As a literature person, we used to have only books. But now the times are changing. When you have an ICT, umpteen number of products or umpteen number of textbooks are available online. I would not say only textbooks, I would say a lot of films. I would say when we are taking Shakespeare, all the scenes are there. When we are having Hardy's books, all those are there. So we are in a space of giving the students more interesting way to learn literature. And I would say again, never lose the opportunity of a crisis. So only when you get a crisis, that's a political saying, because when a crisis comes, the government changes, everything changes. And so this crisis, the pandemic, when it comes, our entire education system is having a change. That has to be agreed. Why I would say is because things are messing. It is very messy nowadays. Most of the students are not having enough gadgets or whatever might be. They're facing a lot of difficulties. And on the professor side, on the staff side also, they have a lot of difficulties. So what are we going to do? So there are colleges have started online teaching. Some colleges are having their own Microsoft base. Some colleges, they do it on Zoom. Some do it on Google. So what are we on that platform? What are we going to do? So online education, it has the shift their basis online. Exactly, our base was college. Now our base is online education. And second one, it is in India, when you compare with foreign countries, the technology or digital learning is comparatively on a lower scale. There are a lot of reasons for it, because financially and socially we are not aware of it, and we are not enough equipped with it. Because even at colleges, even at, I would say, when I was working in Hindustan University, Chennai, the everything was digitalized. We don't do any paperwork 10 years back. But where are we now? When there are arts and science colleges, still we are doing paperwork. So 10 years we are lagging. So there are colleges where 10 years they are ahead of us. And if certain colleges are 10 years ahead of us, you imagine the universities abroad, how much they would be ahead of us. So basic learning and basic teaching has to change. So we need to give an awareness to the students how they are going to learn, and we need to equip them, and we need to make them understand that online education is effective, because the students are thinking that it is not effective. Why? I would say they would have the camera on, and they would have the mic muted, they would have the camera off, and they might be doing their work, but we as a sole person, we would be shouting for the classes. And this is, I have witnessed it. So what are we going to do? If a student is having the class interesting, definitely he would stay. If he definitely he would answer. So there are people, I would say, you imagine WhatsApp classes, you record and give. Will the students listen? No. So as an English teacher, already the students are bilingual. Many do not love English. So at least in your class, when you threaten them saying that you learn English or you ask them question, they'll remain quiet. What about what? How can we do that in that online class? So how do we make, the question for today is, how can we make a student individually responsive to the needs of our students? So we have to be individually responsive, and also we need to make the students understand that they are equally responsible, and they need to be equally responsive also. So we need to construct a system. We need to construct what kind of a system we can construct. So each teacher, or as an IQAC coordinator, we together as teachers, 30 teachers, we sit and we decide what we have to do. How can we partake in that education system? Every college has the financial background matters when it comes to digital teaching. Some colleges are very poor, some colleges are very much high-fi. Their teaching might be different. So what are we going to do now? So one size fits all. That factory model of education should be there, because it might be a novel teacher, or might be a poetry who's taking a poem, or he is taking a grammar of phonetics, or any ELT classes. Everything matters. It has to be like every student gets equal information on everything. It doesn't matter that I cannot take phonetics on online teaching. You cannot say, because you have sounds, you have phonics, all that. But equally, you can make it interesting. Equally, you can give them also what you need, what the students need. So that one size fits all factory model of education should be available to all the students. So what is today's scenario? So we tend to, we tend to regard our education system, actually colleges are wildly different in the operation and impact on student. As well as I said, every college operates differently, and the impact on students is very much different. You cannot compare Bishop Caldwell College with IIT Madras. That's a lot of varied. There are a lot of variety of changes. Lot of changes, or lot of differences are there. How can we make them? How can we make? At least we have to give them half of what IIT is giving them. So how can we equip ourselves? How can we make the students realize? So students come from different backgrounds, and they have different resources. So everybody do not have the same internet connectivity, or they do not have the same phones, or they do not have the same laptops. So now I would say many students are now working. The poor students are working. So We cannot have a definite timetable for them actually. You cannot force them to get books now because they are not paid. The parents are not paid. So how can we impart our knowledge? How can we help them? That's what unreachable students I am saying. Our concern should not be for the students who are attending the class. Our concern should be for the students who are not attending the class. And as well, when the student is not attending the class, when he understands the scenario, he can get help from the respective teachers. But the smooth communication should be there on both the sides. So some students are fine during the crisis and they have quality education, some do not. So economically challenging students in our society is what matters. So what are we going to do for them? So low tech or no tech? Well, what is that is some students do not have a mobile phone of the latest configuration that supports Zoom or Google or what. So low technology or they do not have a smartphone. Though 90% of the students have a smartphone or 70% of the students have a smartphone in a family, there are 3 children or 2 children, there is a difficulty for a student to attend class. So what we are going to deal with that? How are we going to deal with that? So as a teacher, you can design a curriculum for the reachable students. So it is important to know the difference between emergency remote teaching and effective online learning. This is what, teaching and learning, it has to be very much related. You cannot, since the college is paying or you're accountable, we cannot take for an empty class. And we cannot be very much taking to a set of students who are not interested. So we need to give an effective teaching outcome. We need an outcome-based education. So when the student is going out in the second year to the next third year, he has to have some knowledge. He has to have certain knowledge that he has imparted from this year. He cannot go empty-handed. So we are responsible for that. And equally, the student is also responsible. So as a teacher, we have to make him understand. So the important is the mindset. You have to change the mindsets of the teachers as well as the students. It's a simple answer. Nowadays, the teachers tell us, I'm not, as an IQAC coordinator, I get this answer. I do not know digital. I'm not well versed with computers. So we cannot say that as we are in a digital world and our students are smarter than us, but we need to be more smarter than them. Whatever might be the age, for education, there is no age bar. We can learn a computer. You need not be very much, you need not update a software or whatever. It's a basic PowerPoint presentation, a basic downloading image from the Google. So these are basic things which can make a student interesting. You can have your students' interest by giving him image learning, I would say, or video learning. Because more than you talking, when you give a video or asking a question as an English teacher, your student would learn more what he has learning in the classroom. So that's what the IC tool, all MOOCE courses, I need not say, because there are many people coming behind me, they have a lot of information regarding MOOCE and all. So I'm just giving you an introduction. So because we have to say that it is a face-to-face lens, what we have. So what you are thinking, your students will be able to see through this lens. So learner-centric approach should be, not teacher-centric. So this is what we have to see as an English teacher, learner-centric approach. So how can it be learner-centric approach? So for example, as Dr. Ashok Kumar said, as LSRW. So we do not concentrate on this. So these 4 skills can be easily improved by a student through online education. How would I say is listening? Listening, you can give a picture comprehension. I say we forget about the creamy set of students. This is an opportunity where we can concentrate on the unreached students. For example, the students who are very much weak in learning. So we can talk about them by giving picture comprehension. If you're not able to give through the computer, give a print copy of them. There are students, there are staff members who are near people. So we can talk about that after slides. So what I would say is listening which is very much important. You can give few literature based videos, and you can ask them. There are a lot of audios. You can ask them to listen to it, and you can give them listening test. Speaking skill, obviously, when you are talking with them, interacting with them, the speaking skill gets good. And reading, again, when you're doing your PowerPoint, students are reading. They cannot dot. So I make students personally switch on their videos because I need to make sure that my students are listening to my class. And at last comes the writing. So when all these three, when a student is getting equipped, the writing skill would be definitely be improved. So higher education institution should construct an academic plan of action. So every year, as governing body meets, obviously later what does we do? Staff council meet. All that is not happening now. So everything is happening online. So we, as heads of the department or the English teachers together, can construct an academic plan of action. We do have an academic plan of action. How we do is how we take series of guest lectures, and we give a lot of videos. So all that, one of our staff, he asks questions through WhatsApp for phonetics. I was very much surprised with his teaching when he was giving exercises for students through Google Forms, and he was giving exercises through WhatsApp. So there are committed teachers. The students entirely enjoy his class. So when he's talking about a short vowel, he's asking all the 10 students to give the short vowel words. So the students are learning. So he is making, of course, he's making the class interesting, I would say, in the free time. I'm not talking about the 1 hour class or 2 hour class or 3 hour class. Whenever he gets time, he will ping this WhatsApp group, and he will ask the question with how do you categorize these vowels? How you categorize the consonants? So that is what an effective teacher has to be. Your student is always in touch with the teacher in this digital world. It is not only 6 hour class or 5 hour class. You are 16 hours. You can have contact with your students by sharing information on your WhatsApp group, by sharing information through YouTube. So e-content, and I would also say there are students in North India or in South India. There are a group of students where they have come from regional languages schools. They will completely learn their education through their mother tongue. For those students, what we do, we take classes bilingually sometimes. So those kind of students would be getting affected this time. So what can we do? So we can give a video or explaining our literature through a video for them in our regional languages. And so this is an opportunity for us to change. NAC, I would say, is asking for a change every year. Every year it's asking for a change. So though online classes loses human touch, the advantage of becoming available to many more people who aspire to learn is worth the trade. Sometimes it is, it is becoming trade as well, but you are able to reach many students. There is protracted examinations, which is very, very, very visible nowadays. Excuse me, sorry. Where it is talking about connects computer and webcam to the website while the exam is being proctored. So this is a very new method which is being coming up. So we have decided to take this for our examination for our students, because you do not know where your students are doing, how the students are going to do the exam. So we are decided to give the students education through proctored examinations, where their cameras and their computer will be intelligent. We'll be able to see them. Then again, we can say self-study and experimental learning, which we have to make our students very much very much aware of this one, self-study and experimental learning. Till now, many colleges, I would say, we are spoon feeding the students, making them learn. We are making them learn the summary. This is what is happening. So we need to make them self-study. How are we going to do that? How are we going to make the student do a self-study and experimental learning? The people say English literature experimental learning is not possible. Only in English language teaching it is possible. No, I would say experimental learning is possible through Shakespeare also. You can ask the students take a role play in it, and they can do experimental learning. Role play is one of a very good feature to improve a language for a student. And also digital tools as artificial intelligence, that is the higher end where it is teaching language. There are many softwares which are helping us to do the learning needs for students, and artificial intelligence can improve our learning outcome. So what is needed this time? Imagination and commitment. How can you take a student into imagination? Because it is digital world, imagination is very important for an English staff. So I would say dialogue, dialogue between two students. That is what makes a student to imagine a lot. When you give them a role play, when you ask the students to, as two friends meeting after a long time, all that. So we have to have some innovative teaching methods to make make English interesting, especially general English class. Because students should not think that why are we coming to an English class? Either it should not be very jovial without taking the class. But I'm talking about when you take a class, it has to be very much happy. It has to have innovative teaching methods. Pedagogic method, already old methods of national languages. The staff becomes shortages because plague remote institutions, they do not do still they do not do still online teaching. So for those colleges, what are we going to do? What the government is going to do? That depends on the head of the institution of head of the institutions. Then the state will bear much responsibility, digital infrastructure, and every student in Tamil Nadu, government gives laptop for every students for 12th standard students. Some students might not get, but mostly the poor students are getting laptops in Tamil Nadu. I'm not sure about the other states. Now the government has planned to give smartphones as well. So why this is coming? The recommendations from each colleges and recommendations from each university is going through the state governments, and students are getting access to these things. So sometimes when it is not available, what can we do? I have actually in Facebook and in my well-known groups, I have posted for the unreachable students to give used mobile phones. I have also posted in my Facebook. So I have got few responses, and we are planning. I have initially initiated this program in my college a month back, and that's the idea that I had for unreachable students. So we are getting many rich people would have extra mobile phones. So everybody has assessment through, you have your access through Facebook and Instagram or what, Twitter. We can make this a mobile bank where we can share this through to our students, because internet facilities alone is not alone needed. That is alone not needed. Why would I would say is we can give a video. We can transfer that video through Bluetooth, or they can share with their friends or whatever, and that can be only solution for unreachable students. Or the teacher at her own cost sending printed materials to the students. It need not be very new. We can get it from the old students. So campuses in India are desolate, empty, and inactive. And so, what will be the condition after reopening? We do not know. So blended modes of education will be unavoidable. Online instruction where possible. Excuse me, 1 minute. இருமது. కెమెరా కొరకు వెన్ని sorry. So what is the taxonomy of
Are you okay, ma'am?
yeah, I'm okay now.
Okay.
So taxonomy of online education. So this is what we have to follow. Learning management, what are we going to do with that learning management? So we have to have a curriculum. As Sir said, you can have a syllabus, or also you can frame weekly programs for them. Then course delivery, how are you going to deliver it? Through videos, through Zoom or whatever. And assessment evaluation is very important, because only by taking class it's not possible. So you have to have certain assessment. Now how do you evaluate your students? So when we were doing soft skills, what we do is evaluation we do through as I said, practical sessions also. But being an English teacher, for general English you can do practical sessions, you can give assignments, and you can ask the students to read, and you can evaluate them in such a way. And also Google Forms, it's very important. Google Forms can be used to do assessment and evaluation. Then synchronize your course conduct. So because the synchronizing is very important, one teacher is taking that and another teacher, no, everybody should be to synchronizing is very important. Then you have to monitor every online assessment. As we are saying, assignments students will copy and give. You're not encouraging that. So what we have to do, ask them the camera on, ask them to take seminars, ask them to do a PowerPoint. So that would be making our students more interesting. He would get scared also as well. But when he is taking a seminar of that becomes an assessment, definitely he would be listening to your class. And good internet facility. So if a student is not having facilities, we can make a requisition for the network facilities to be easily available through NGOs or government for students in villages. Then, so this is a rough thing which I am saying, that is, there are 72.60 people are using only hotspot. So no broadband connections, no broadband connections are there. So I'm not saying everybody can easily have a broadband connection, but a requisition can be made through a panchayat or a requisition on the behalf of the college. What community development program we are doing? We are doing community development program, and I know that. So like these programs, we can do with the help of some Lions Club, or as I'm saying, in Tamil Nadu we have Lions Club, we have a lot of NGOs. With the help of them, we can acquire and help from people, and we can give those students. And also, computer, laptops, smartphones, I've already said. In Tamil Nadu, it is available to students. So if not, the government are taking, as of I know, Karnataka and Kerala, they are making initiatives to give laptops and smartphones to students. Then this is very important. Which one is this? Today, when I was preparing, already prepared the PowerPoint, but today when I saw the NCERT survey, they have given this difficulty that is faced by the students. So 1 of every 3 students find the online classes burdensome. Okay, this is the reality, today's reality. This was published in Indian Hindustan Times today, and I saw this. So facing problems in mathematical concepts, they said. But I would also say that it is not only in mathematical concepts, it is also in English also, because the communication problem is very much difficult. Poor internet connectivity, electric supply. So what are we going to do for these students? When we are taking live online class, are we recording it? So it is important for a teacher to record the class. So once when the student is not able to attend your class, at the end of every class, give 3 assessment questions. So when the student listens to it, he will definitely write the questions and he can send it to you through WhatsApp or whatever. So you might say that 50 students are there or 100 students are there. How can 3 questions you do in Google form, that will get you the answer? Who have attended? No. So there are a lot of formulas in Excel sheets. where if you do it, if you paste it in 10 days also, you can easily get that data. So that what kind of assessment, what kind of innovative assessment techniques we are going to use, because without assessment, you're not going to get a fruit. So because the students should be very much serious about it. Only when we take some effort for it. Uh, and also, what guidelines we can have is, it can be paired others with a neighborhood, or as I said, we are having a mobile bank as such, we can help students through that. Printed study materials can be shared. Then government can provide community mobile banks. I already said that. And then help will be taken from the government's charity organizations are helping students. We are getting every day we are getting a pamphlet or such from the charity organizations. Mobile classes may be conducted for such students. As I said, recorded, we can give the students. Then textbooks can be delivered. What are the suggestions? So school teachers, if school teachers and the head of the class, I'm telling the class leader, are staying in the same area, a student can share his data with 4 or 5 students. It is safe to stay home, but there are students, nearby students, who can share it with Bluetooth. Sometimes if they are not possible, the teacher should find some way. As what we do is, a teacher is in the local, all our students are having some hotspot and we are managing, or we are sending it through WhatsApp, because every house has a phone now. So we are sharing it through the video. If a student is not able to attend the class, children are there, they're taking turns in attending the class, and if they want an attendance, we give an assessment. So the team can include teachers from different schools and volunteers for arranging safe classes. Yes, that is also happening in various places. Safe classes are where the corona cases are less in number. Safe classes are there. And if this is not, we have to abide by the law. And the ministry suggests that teachers from groups and students to stay nearby, and grades to empower them to help each other, peer learning and tutoring. That is available with, as I've seen, it is available with school students. And college we are not doing. So are we making English interesting? So how can we make English interesting is, we can explore editing and creative skills. So we have to make the creative skills of a student enhancing. We have to enhance their creative skills. It's very important in this digital environment. Every student is a digital natives. So they are able to do more than what we do. So they collage, they can do anything on a topic you give, they would do awesome. So we can make our students very creative. You can emphasize group projects. What kind of group projects we can give them a chapter of Faustus, ask them to analyze as a group. You can even have group discussions on it. What the recent technology, or the recent English or recent scenario, you can give debate with them on them. Then interact with students. It's very important. Don't take it as you have a screen. You have some teachers go on taking the class, they do not even interact with the students. But the importance is very much important, is you have to interact with the students, because the environment matters. That video discs, it's very important. Video discs, we can go authentic documentations. There are for English, History of English Literature, we have a lot of documentaries available online. You can give them. Spoken English PowerPoint project is also very important, because spoken English as a soft skills trainer, what we do is, through online teaching, we were preparing materials for crash course for nurses to clear TFL, and also certain to clear their entrance examinations. When they go for some courses, they come for training. What we do online in Dubai or Saudi, whatever they do, we do it only through online. So how do we do that? We ask them, one-to-one class we have. So we give a lot of documentaries. We give them documentations. We ask them we give them sheets, when we give proper British accent listening classes, we give them worksheets, and we ask them to do listening classes, because listening is what starts. So we give them online teaching materials. We give them, if I'm taking for a single person, I will play it and he will listen and they write it. So immediately in Google form, I get it, I get the answer. Then I give them an interview of how you have to represent themselves or how to speak on a particular topic. Now, first of all, our students do not know how to introduce themselves. A training initially can be started by saying introduce yourself. That's very important because I would say only when the student go for an interview, they'll come to a teacher and ask for, ma'am, how to introduce ourselves. So all that things we can be teaching apart from grammar. Then writing is also very important, where we can give picture comprehensions, you can give, or you can give comprehensions also, because a lot of things are there in the internet. So you can, apart from the office hours, we can encourage students to bring their questions, raise their doubts. We can be helpful for them for 16 or 17 hours. So in class, you need not be very silent. Some staff say unmute. No, even my son says, why the teacher is not asking to unmute, mute. They are becoming very much angry towards the word mute. So we have to ask the students unmute sometimes, and we can have a chit chat also. So we have to get a feedback every time when you take a class. That's very important. So feedback can be framed by the head or each staff of the class, and you can give a feedback to the students to know where the student is or where we are lagging in, or how a student wants your class to be. So that kind of feedback would be very much essential if you want your classes to go up high. So learning outcomes, I would say beyond syllabus, there are targeted skills. So what we want to teach, there is a triangle I have given. You can, as the time is running out, I'm just going off. So you can, there is a curriculum triangle. We can make use of it. We can make prerequisite knowledge. So how can you fill the gaps? You have to bridge between yourself and the student. What can we do? How can we do that? All that is given. So these are the things: lesson activities, lesson development, how to have a course. I have given you in a triangle. You can be creative, evaluating, analyzing, applying, understanding, and then remembering. All these things you can do in an English class. ICT tools, again, I have given an introduction. So this is very much important, where teaching and learning with ICT resources. So I've given what are the things that can be done. So we can have video recordings, you can have YouTube, iTunes, you can motivate about subject. In English, song also can be taken to teach your students. Okay, if you know if that when a student is bored, you can even ask them to give the theme of the song. You can ask them from a series, from a comedy, from a dialogue, what they are speaking, give the context, everything we can do. So you have to introduce certain content. You have to give a subject interest. So you have to give some, see, Wikipedia is there, on-site encyclopedia, all that we can share through online. So this conclusion is, so during the modern time, we have to be modest in our education, because our nation is still at a risk, because we are not able to give education to students in such a way that the well-developed countries are giving education. I would say that we are hardworking people, but the exposure to education what we have has to still improve, because the teachers ourselves have to get ourselves improved. And we have to have a point: no child is left behind. So that's just the thing we have to take as an as a teacher. And in English literature, we have to be very sure that no child is left behind by ignoring that English is a difficult subject. So every student succeeds, all means all. And so we have to figure out a system that has the capacity to deliver the promise of equity and excellence in education. And we have the opportunity now, because we are in a good time now, and this time if we fail, we'll not be able to emerge. So we are emerging as an developed in the country, and our country is going through development, and we are going to be a developed country soon. So our teaching methods also has to change drastically, and also, sorry, gradually. It has to change gradually into an effective outcome based learning. This is what every university and every institution and the NAC also expects from us. So we have to acquire new technology techniques to shine. If only you shine, you will allow our students can also shine. And that is what is very much important. And thank you for the opportunity, for giving me an opportunity to speak, because I didn't touch on the ICT tools, because behind me there are a lot of sessions and people would be giving on a lot of ICT tools techniques. I thank everybody for giving me an opportunity to give a talk on this. So if there are any questions, I can answer. Aradhana ma'am? Sorry, I
Okay.
had a bad throat. I had to go out.
Yes, yes. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your views on online teaching, English language, and role and
Thank you.
responsibility of teacher as well as of the students. Ma'am, I would like to share my own personal view uh, while teaching zoology, since I am a zoology teacher. So in our class, students are used to be some of Hindi medium and some of them are of English medium. And for me, it is very challenging to convey my message. And particularly in science, we have to use some technical words only in English. So student must learn English terminology, and also in higher education, good books of science are available only in English language. So what do you say, ma'am, about the importance?
Technical terms, certain technical terms, obviously, we cannot be bilingual. But there are, when we talk about Tamil, there are literary terms in Tamil and all. There are Tamil dictionary, there are certain websites. You can get touch with that. But when you do bilingual very much, your students will not be getting exposed to English particularly. So I would say they can have an exposure, because for us, from last year, the university has made everything into English medium, because until last year we had Tamil medium separately and English medium. Only English department would be doing in English medium. The other departments would have a Tamil medium and English medium. So students write in Tamil and the students write in English. So it was not a problem till last year. But as you said, this year there is a problem. But once when we become bilingual too much, your students will not be able to write it good in English. So you can give an exposure of the words, because they would be giving them, as you say, you can give the terminology in Tamil, in your language, and ultimately give a translation. Otherwise, we cannot do well in your digital learning. Your university is doing in your regional language, the course also?
In Hindi language, we used to.
Okay, in Hindi language you use, yeah. So some terminologies will be there only in English. I heart it, that's all.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. As someone has said, learning another language is not only learning different words of the same thing, but learning another way to think about things. So with this, we end this technical session. Thank you very much, Christy Paulina, ma'am,
Thank you so much.
for this marvelous presentation. And really, you have made to reach to unreach. Thank you, madam. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Aradhana Goswami, ma'am, for formal vote of thanks and to conclude the session. Ma'am, over to you.
I think I would like to answer a question from.
Yes, ma'am. Is there any question, ma'am? Because we didn't find any question. Actually, hello, ma'am, your voice is lost. Christy, ma'am. Hello. Hello, Christy, ma'am. You are not audible, ma'am. Hello. Hello, Christy, ma'am. She's speaking a question actually.
Yeah,
Hello.
able to get me? Able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Now we can hear you.
1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Able to hear me?
Yeah.
So, Atul Tiwari, Atul
Okay, he
Tiwari
is my
sir has
student.
given me a question. Yes,
Atul Tiwari is
talking
my
about
student.
that English language is not only a problem in Tamil Nadu, but also in every state. Yes, there is a problem in every state. There is a problem in every state. But I would say that, as a Tamilian, I have seen that problem is with my eyes. Other, might be in many states, there might be problems. But I have seen it. So my experience I was sharing with that, when I had in my engineering college, I had Kerala students. They will not be able to write, but they would speak super language. So they would give good English. Their accent would be awesome, but written English won't be good. But when you talk about Tamil students, they would write beautiful English, but they will not be able to speak. They will not be able to get through their interviews. So there are problems like this. But now we are facing a problem. What it is students are not paying attention to English. Okay, so that is what I was concentrating on. Unreachable students, they love to learn English, they do not like to come before the students. Now it is a place where when you have a bunch of students, 30 boys and 30 girls, a boy will not speak before girls because he feels that he's embarrassed. He will not speak. He will say, ma'am, you give me any punishment, but don't ask me to speak before the girls. But in this platform, there is not a problem. You can have separate, you can have, the students think they'll be speaking to a digital computer or whatever. You can give them good training, I would say. Rather than in the classroom, a digital learning would give better training for students in communicative English. That would be my answer.
Thank you so much for clearing the doubt. The first session of 1 week national web workshop on issues and challenges of learning teaching English from home in pandemic provided us a literary treat, as I believe. Dr. Christy ma'am paved the way with her thought-provoking views on reach to unreach. There are few lines. A dream for a student truly begins when a teacher believes him or her. And these lines suits Christy ma'am in a true sense. And she talked about never lose the opportunity of crisis because challenges bring opportunity. She gave an enlightening presentation. Madam's presentation was actually giving us some takes away. It will help all the teachers, learners, and participants. Thanks, ma'am, for such a wonderful and innovative lecture. And after hearing you and Ashok sir's speech, I recall P.B. Shelley's wonderful line, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? So these motivational lines are very appropriate in this current scenario. And now I take the privilege of proposing vote of thanks to all the dignitaries and participants. First of all, my humble gratitude to Lord Almighty for showering upon us His kindness and blessings. I express my gratitude to the chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Ashok Kumar, who honored this workshop with his inspirational thoughts and spare the time and be with us. I'm also thankful to Dr. S.N. Chaubeji, because of whom I could invite Professor Ashok Kumar sir. My heartfelt thanks and sincere gratitude to keynote speaker Dr. Christy ma'am for having consented to be the speaker for this workshop and enlightening the session with her thoughts, wisdom, and ideas. My humble gratitude to Honorable Patron and Principal Dr. Aarti Tiwari ma'am, who motivated and inspired us to arrange this workshop and always stand with us for every support. My special thanks to Dr. Kavita Krishnamurthy, organizing secretary of this workshop, who always helps me at every time of crisis. I'm highly thankful to the advisory committee and technical staff, especially Prakash Shukla, for his constant support and help. My warm and heartful thanks to all the teachers, scholars, students, participants, and viewers who are participating in this web workshop from different parts of country. There is one announcement for the participants. Dear participants, you will get feedback link after this session tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning through WhatsApp group link mentioned on brochure. This link will be active for 2 hours, and tomorrow we shall meet in the second session of workshop. I hope we shall have a very fruitful and wonderful session. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much. Thank
Yes.
you all.
I also, take this opportunity to thank Aradhana. She been wonderful in inviting, and also she been wonderful person, in organizing. She was very humble, I would say, a person. She been talking and discussing with me, and I really appreciate you, Aradhana. Because you've taken so much pain, and you've been motivating also. I would congratulate you, and also congratulate your patron, your principal, for giving an opportunity. Or not all colleges do this. She's been helping you a lot. Thank you. And I've also thanked Ashok Kumar sir. He's been throughout the session.
Yes,
Thank you,
ma'am.
sir. Been honored to meet you and honored to be with in this session with you. Thank you so much. And also thank Krishnamurthy ma'am also. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank you,
nice.
sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
I leave.
Thanks. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
We can leave the meeting.